Okay, I'm going to give you an overview of the imaginary I and as much as you need to know. So, how we get this imaginary I is when we take the square root of -1 at some point, the letter, kind of this italic, it looks more like this when you see it, this kind of italic I. So if we were to, so I to the first is just I. What if we square I squared? Well, think about this. Anytime you square a radical, so if we do the square root of 2 squared, we get 2. So I squared, we get -1. What about I cubed? Well, I squared times I to the first. Well, what's -1 times I? Negative I. What about I to the fourth? Well, that's just I squared squared. What's -1 squared? 1. These are the 4 things, and when you are in Algebra 2 or higher, it's very useful to memorize, if you must, if you don't remember, to memorize, because once in a while, probably on an ACT test or something, you're going to be asked, so what would I to the 43rd be? Here's the trick. Break this I down till it's a product of I to the 4th and some other number. So I to the 40th, right? Because 4 goes into 40. I to the 40th times I to the 3rd, because when you multiply, you add exponents. Well, any multiples of 4 is going to be 1. And then I to the 3rd is just -I. So it's 1 times -I, which is -I. All right. So what about I to the 101? Well, that's just I to the 100th times I to the first. Well, I to the 100th, that's a multiple of 4. So 1 times I is I. What about I to the 22nd? I to the 20th is 1. I squared is -1. So 1 times -1 is -1. And then finally, I to the 400th. Well, that's just a multiple of 4. See that? 4 times 100. They're both multiples of 4. And that would just be 1. All right, that's it for the imaginary I. And then we're going to be using it in a minute or in the next few videos.